Broadcasting live from the Cottage Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. You can follow me on Twitter. You can email me, hoho@thehohoshow.com. You can check out my YouTube channel and find me on Facebook. Telephone number, as always, 217-917-4405 if you want to call me part of the show. A proud member of Weaponized Sloth Productions, so welcome to the Ho-Ho Show. And as always, I am your host, Ho-Ho. Oh, yeah. All right, guys, this is the 4th of July special celebrating our wonderful independence, and I am joined in studio by none other. We're having cows here, guys. None other.
That was great.
I love the udders. Yeah. Then Mr. Matt Vacker and his lovely lady, Renina. What's up? Co-host of the Machine Radio Show. Wow.
There you go.
Brandon's going to call me and hurt me. Something fierce. Yes. So, welcome Twitch, welcome YouTube, Facebook's Mixer, Periscope, and welcome Spreaker. Shit. Oh, crap. Ain't supposed to... There we go. See, I forgot to unmute my, Spreaker. I hate it when I do that.
Oh.
I wish it unmuted for me.
Yeah.
That would be so much better. So, guys, we are going to start off this show. Good morning, Mr. Big M Homestead. How are you doing today, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. But we're going to start off this show the right way. There is something that I stumbled onto in Facebook, in YouTube land a while back ago, and I tell you what, this is the best story of, or I don't want to say the best story, the best reading or, narration of, more or less what happened, the founding of our, the Star Spangled Banner, our national anthem. And it tells it great. It really, really does. It tells it very well. And it's one of those things that it's an important, to our founding. It is an important story to know. And it's one of those things, and I very much welcome people to, invite your kids to see this show. If you guys have children, if you have children, invite them to watch the show because they may learn something. Because this stuff isn't taught nowadays. I mean, really, to be honest with you, I am 39. They didn't teach this when I was going into school. I mean, it was a highlight reel. They didn't really teach a lot about it. The down and dirty, what it truly meant. The Star Spangled Banner, the words or the meaning of the words behind it. I mean, did they go through that? I mean, you graduated pretty much the same time I did.
No, they never went through it there either.
Yeah, and it's a shame. So, guys, here we go. Star Spangled Banner, and I believe this is done by it says Mona Rose. I don't know if that's the narrator or if that is the person who wrote this, but at any rate, here you guys go. Hope you enjoy it. Star Spangled Banner as you've never heard it. We'll be right back.
There was a lawyer once. His name was Francis Scott Key. He penned a song that I'm sure you're aware of. You've seen it. It's in most hymnals throughout our churches. It's called the National Anthem. It is our song as an American. We go, however, to a ball game. We stand in our church services and we sing the words of that song, and they float over our minds and our lips, and we don't even realize what we're singing. Most of us have memorized it as a child, but we've never really thought about what it means. Let me tell you a story. Francis Scott Key was a lawyer in Baltimore. The colonies were engaged in vicious conflict with the mother country, Britain. Because of this conflict and the protractedness of it, they had accumulated prisoners on both sides. The American colonies had prisoners and the British had prisoners. And the American government initiated a move. They went to the British and they said, let us negotiate for the release of these prisoners. They said, we want to send a man out to discuss this with you. They were holding the American prisoners in boats about 1,000 yards offshore. And they said, we want to send a man by the name of Francis Scott Key. He will come out and negotiate to see if we can make a mutual exchange. On the appointed day, in a rowboat, he went out to this boat and he negotiated with the British officials. And they reached a conclusion that men could be exchanged on a one-for-one basis. Francis Scott Key, jubilant with the fact that he'd been successful, went down below in the boats, and what he found was a cargo hold full of humanity, men. And he said, men, I've got news for you tonight. You're free. He said, tonight I have negotiated successfully your return to the colonies. He said, you'll be taken out of this boat, out of this filth, out of your chains. As he went back up on board to arrange for their passage to the shore, the admiral came and he said, we have a slight problem. He said, we will still honor our commitment to release these men, but it'll be merely academic after tonight. It won't matter. And Francis Scott Key said, what do you mean? He said, well, Mr. Key, he said, tonight we have laid an ultimatum upon the colonies. Your people will either capitulate and lay down the colors of that flag that you think so much of, or you see that fort right over there, Fort Henry? He said, we're going to remove it from the face of the earth. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, if you will, scan the horizon of the sea. And as he looked, he could see hundreds of little dots. And he said, that's the entire British war fleet. He said, all of the gunpowder, all of the armament is being called upon to demolish that fort. It will be here within striking distance in a matter of about 2.5 hours. He said, the war is over. These men would be free anyway. He said, you can't shell that fort. He said, that's a large fort. He said, it's full of women and children. He says, it's predominantly not a military fort. He said, don't worry about it. They said, we've left them a way out. And he said, what's that? He said, do you see that flag way up on the rampart? He said, we have told them that if they will lower that flag, the shelling will stop immediately. And we'll know that they've surrendered, and you'll now be under British rule. Francis Scott Key went down below and told the men what was about to happen. And they said, how many ships? He said, hundreds. The ships got closer. Francis Scott Key went back up on top and he said, men, I'll shout down to you what's going on as we watch. As twilight began to fall, and as the haze hung over the ocean as it does at sunset, suddenly the British war fleet unleashed. He says the sound was deafening. There were so many guns that there were no reliefs. He said it was absolutely impossible to talk or hear. He said suddenly the sky, although dark, was suddenly lit. And he says from down below, all he could hear the men, the prisoners, saying was, tell us where the flag is. What have they done with the flag? Is the flag still flying over the rampart? Tell us. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours into the shelling. Every time the bomb would explode and it would be close to the flag, they could see the flag in the illuminated red glare of that bomb. And Francis Scott Key would report down to the men below, it's still up. It's not down. The admiral came and he said, your people are insane. He said, what's the matter with them? He said, don't they understand this is an impossible situation? Francis Scott Key said he remembered what George Washington had said. He said the thing that sets the American Christian apart from all other people in the world is he will die on his feet before he'll live on his knees. The admiral said, we have now instructed all of the guns to focus on the rampart to take that flag down. He said, we don't understand something. Our reconnaissance tells us that that flag has been hit directly again and again and again, and yet it's still flying. We don't understand that. But he said, now we're about to bring every gun for the next 3 hours to bear on that point. Francis Scott Key said the barrage was unmerciful. All that he could hear was the men down below praying. The prayer, God, keep that flag flying where we last saw it. Sunrise came. He said there was a heavy mist hanging over the land, but the rampart was tall enough. There stood the flag, completely nondescript, in shreds. The flagpole itself was at a crazy angle, but the flag was still at the top. Francis Scott Key went aboard and immediately went into Fort Henry to see what had happened. And what he'd found had happened was that that flagpole and that flag had suffered repetitious direct hits. And when it had fallen, but men, fathers, who knew what it meant for that flag to be on the ground, although knowing that all of the British guns were trained on it, walked over and held it up humanly until they died. Their bodies were removed and others took their place. Francis Scott Key said what held that flagpole in place at that unusual angle were patriots' bodies. He penned the song, "Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? Or the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that the flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet fly and wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?" The debt was demanded. The price, it was paid.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light. What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread clear, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There it is, guys. Oh, yeah. Not much to say after that, really. You know?
No, listen.
Should have played at the end of the video.
Right? No, can't do that. Gotta pay honor where honor's due, you know? It's
Yeah.
that's what it means to be an American, you know? That's what it means to stand up and fight for your country, you know? So, you know, there's a lot of things surrounding, you know, the founding that, you know, of course, just isn't taught anymore. You know, a lot that people don't know, don't realize, you know, and it's like, for instance, you know, whenever they chose, you know, to do the Declaration of Independence, because before then it was a revolt, you know, and it was minor. The British didn't really take it serious, you know, and that's more or less what it amounted to. And after this, whenever we did the Declaration of Independence, you know, because we were, you know, not only, you know, standing up to Great Britain and the grievances that we had. Yes, it does. Yeah, Al said, make sure all teary-eyed, and yeah, it definitely does, you know. But, I mean, it was, you know, we were putting King George on notice as far as, you know, this is what we feel, you know, this is how you wronged us. And we were also pleading to the world at large, you know, for our, you know, to be recognized independently. And that's whenever the war really took off, you know, and those that signed the Declaration of Independence, you know, they were putting their lives on the line. You know, it wasn't no small thing. I mean, it really wasn't. People don't understand that, you know, that they were committing high treason, you know, punishable by a horrible death.
Yes.
Drawn, quartered, you know, I mean, it wasn't just a firing squad. You know, they
made an example out of you.
Yes, they did. and they put their lives on the line by putting, by signing their name to it, and sending that out to King George. And it wasn't no small thing, not at all. And it was after that that the whole thing just, shit got real. Really did. Shit got real after that, It wasn't no little thing after that.
No, it wasn't.
You got anything else to add for that little tidbit, I guess you can say?
I don't know, when you were talking about, when they signed that they put their lives on the line, John Hancock, there's a reason why his name was the largest on there, because he was already wanted.
Oh, it was?
Yes.
No, I didn't realize.
And it was basically
wanted.
Saying, hey, guess where I'm at.
Right. Well, and that was one of the things, too. I mean, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but... one of the things that is told and repeated is, he signed his name that big, so that this way, George did not have to put his glasses on in order to read his name. And he'd know, that's him.
Yeah.
But it was his signature that actually, because he was the preceding, whatever you call it, he was the guy of head of the Continental Congress. And it was his signature that basically made the whole thing legit. And that's why it is, July 4th instead of July 2nd, because I think everybody else pretty much did it on the 2nd of July. Mm-hmm. And on the 4th is whenever the final revision was done. And that's whenever John Hancock signed it, and that's what made it official.
Yeah.
But, and it's one of it, all right. I find it quite entertaining that, when was the last time you read the the Declaration of Independence?
It's been a while, actually.
Yeah. But what I'm specifically referring to is I'm specifically referring to the grievances, the 28 listed grievances that we had against King George. And it's funny. Okay, I brought up a thing, kind of a quick summarization, because it's been a while since I've read the stinking thing too. Got to be honest, but the first 12, there's 28 of them. The first 12 basically are all involving, King George's establishment of tyrannical authority in place of a representative type of a government. So you've got those 13 through 22 describing involvement of Parliament in destroying the colony's right to self-rule. The last 5 refer to specific actions that Great Britain took to abandon the colonies and to wage war against them. And it's one of them things that if you actually read the grievances that we had against them, it's kind of eye-opening.
It is.
Hugely eye-opening. Because whenever you read them, you hear this argument a lot. And I'm actually going to get into that after we take a quick break. We'll be right back. Because we're going to get into something. This is going to get fun. This is going to be eye-opening. And I hope you guys pay attention. Read your Constitution. You can get a little pocket-sized Constitution that has a Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the Bill of Rights in it, like $1. Cheap. Yes. Order it online. Everybody should have this handy. Anytime you get attacked by the left, whenever they want to tell you something that ain't real, have it, get it, read it, learn it, love it. Be right back. All right, and we are back. Yes, we are. I did it on purpose, just so you guys know. This, you'll see it. You'll see it. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. And, see, there. I did that on purpose. Anyway. All right, guys. So as I was discussing before we went on break, if you guys actually read the list of grievances that we had against King George, against the tyrannical government, against taxation without representation, about putting your own people in there, eliminating, you know, the people's right to rule and govern themselves, because that's what our founding fathers believed in: self-governance, governance. Shit, I can talk, really, I can. But. And here's, as I was talking, you know, here it is. $1 for this sucker. You can get this thing on Amazon. You can get it delivered right to your door. And they even have specials as far as getting larger quantities. But otherwise, it's $1. And it's got Bill of Rights, Constitution, Declaration of Independence. I highly recommend it. Get one, pick it up. But if you actually read through the grievances, the list of grievances, it's scary. But a lot of people talk about, you know, especially during Obama's administration, or whenever people were crying about getting their freedoms taken away and this, that, and the other. And they were like, name one freedom that you don't have now that you had before President Obama was president. And it's like, well, okay. It's not necessarily what he has done. It's what has been going on for the past at least 50 years. You know, you think about things that, you know, and I've even done this post on Facebook, you know, it's a list of like 7 or 8 things that you could do 100 years ago that you can't do now. You know, things like doing a lemonade stand on the side of the road. You know, there are places you can't do that. You know, there's places you have to buy a licensing fee, a vendor, you know, a vendor tax that you got to pay, different crap like that. And it's like, holy cow, you know, only in America do you have to buy a license for a freedom that you already have. You know, and those are examples of freedoms that has been taken away from us. You know, thinking back to like, you know, like the FCC, for instance, you know, open airways. Why in the heck? Like, I can understand some things in there, but try to get your own radio station, you know, celestial radio station. It's impossible. It can't be done. You know, the amount of hoops you got to jump into, the amount of, you know, red tape, the amount of money it costs to do that. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. You know, and these are types of freedoms that's been taken away from you, you know. And look at it like this. Who's supposed to be the governing body of, you know, our nation? You know, where are the laws supposed to come from? You know, where are they supposed to come from? Who writes laws?
Our government.
Okay, but specifically,
is the taking me back here?
Well, the legislative branch,
yeah.
You know, the senators,
the House,
Congress.
yeah.
That's who is supposed to be writing our laws. Where does the majority of the laws actually come from? The executive branch. Like what, 90% of the freaking laws actually come from the executive branch. Hello. Cedric Tatas. But that's where the majority of the laws come from. They actually come, you know, from the executive branch, and like, you know, the Department of, you know, the Interior, from the Department of Education, from Homeland Security, from, you know, the EPA. All these are departments of the executive branch, and they all write, you know, regulations after regulations. And I am doing well, sir. How are you doing today? But that's where the majority of our laws actually come from. They do not come from elected people, people whom are beholden to the people. You know, they aren't elected, they're appointed. That's where the majority of the regulations actually come from. The majority of the laws, that's where they actually come from. You know, so there is an example of it's not supposed to be done that way. You know, 10th Amendment. That is an example of power being removed from the state and from the people. That's a loss of rights. But you actually look at it, there's a butt ton of stuff a problem that we had with King George, that this is stuff that's going on again.
Butt ton?
A butt ton, which is a real number, by the way. That is a real weight.
Yes, it is.
Seriously?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But
Where?
yeah. Huh?
Where?
You know what? I had this amazing thing called Google.
You might have to turn up my microphone a little bit.
Yeah, you're fine. Just
Yeah.
talking to it. Kiss it.
All right.
How
I don't wanna
much
kiss
is
it.
a butt ton? 63 gallons. And
Seriously?
Nope, I'm sorry. Let's see. A hogshed is typically 63 gallons. I had no idea of that. A butt is generally defined as to be 2 hogsheds, but the size of hogsheds varies. Yeah, whatever.
So 126 gallons.
126 gallons.
Is a butt ton. Okay, that's well, that's a thing. Welcome, everyone, to that thing that exists.
The more you know.
Yeah, it's a distinct unit of measurement. Apparently, it is 126 gallons.
And farmers would use that, not normal folk.
I don't know. I'm not a farmer. I use it.
It's 'cause you're
So yes, welcome, Matt. Not a whole heck of a lot is going on, sir. We are just, 4th of July is coming up, so that's more or less what we're talking about. 4th of July. So good times. So that's what a butt ton is. But at any rate,
Yeah, talking about butt tons. Don't mind us. 4th of
yeah,
July, butt ton.
good stuff.
Gonna get a butt ton of firework.
Actually, just got done setting a bunch off too. That was quite entertaining.
Firecrackers.
Firecrackers. Gotta love firecrackers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. But yes, so when you actually look at, compared to our founding, there's a lot of things that are being done in such a way that it was not, our founding fathers never intended it to be done like this. In fact, they didn't want it to be done like this. And there was a reason behind why they didn't want it to be done like that. They wanted the power to go to the people. Not a centralized government, because guess what? That's what we were revolting against. That's what we didn't want, was for everything to be controlled by a localized government, taking power away from the people. And you actually think that how we're doing things now was what they had in mind? After they just got done fighting a battle against them?
No, they wanted the people to live their life as they saw fit and to be happy.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, sir. That's awesome. He says want to get a buddy. So, but yeah, and that's, and I was looking at something else too, and this is one of them things, and I wasn't wanting to go here, but it is definitely one of them things that is worth mentioning. It is worth noting. It is worth telling people that, this is what actually was going on. And, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That was originally written life, liberty, and property. That is one of the awesome. He will be back. Very cool. But that is one of the revisions that they put in the Declaration of Independence before they actually released it and sent it to press. But they did not want to do that. Do you remember as to why?
Actually, I do not.
Oh. Slavery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Because our founding fathers did not want slavery. They really didn't. But they also knew that they wasn't going to be able to fight both of those battles at the same time. So in order to, pick your battles to win the war, in order to do that and get everybody on board, they did not want to do the whole elimination of slavery right then and there. They didn't want to do that. You know, they knew that they wouldn't be able to do that. And so they didn't want the argument to come up later on. You know, they did not want to even have the discussion of, are they people or are they property? They didn't want to have that discussion. So that's why they removed that language from the Declaration of Independence, so that this way they would not have to have that argument later on. So that's why it got changed from life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know, a lot of people don't really realize that, because they want to paint our founding fathers as, you know, a group of old white guys that had a bunch of slaves. You know, not that they didn't have slaves. I absolutely have no idea whether they did or whether they didn't, you know, but one of the things that reading the Bible taught me was it's not whether or not you have a slave, it's how you treat them.
It's how you treat them, yeah.
You know, because I don't know about you, but right now, no, I'm not going to say that. I was going to say something, I ain't going to, but that's why they did it like that. They did not want to have that argument. You know, they wanted to eliminate it. And it's actually kind of funny, because us going through, you know, wanting to eliminate that from our country is what, you know, is what got, you know, awesome, sir. But that's what actually got them to, you know, Great Britain to get rid of slavery. You know, that's actually what triggered them to do that. But, you know, that's just another one of the little history tidbits things that I've learned. You know, anything else that you want to throw in stuff?
You know, we were talking about earlier when we were on break, and I said I didn't know if it was in the Declaration of Independence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's in the Declaration.
Oh, it is in the Declaration? Yeah. So what was it you was talking about?
We were talking about, you know, some similarities about how our government is now compared to what our forefathers were going through back then.
Yes.
And one of the things they put into the Declaration is that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness.
Absolutely. See, that's one of them things that, you know, has been openly referred to as, you know, America was the great experiment. You know, we came over here because we wanted religious freedom. We came over here because we wanted that opportunity to basically govern ourselves, plot our own course, and basically govern ourselves. We figured that if we went all the way across the Great Pond, that, you know, King George wouldn't be able to have his oppressive thumb right on us. And we were wrong.
Right.
That's more or less what it amounted to. I mean, we had that whole thing of we came over here for that purpose, and pretty much that purpose alone. You know, we didn't, you know, we wanted to be free. That's why we came over here in the first place, you know. But us being the great experiment, we don't have a top-down form of government. Guys, we really don't, you know, and that's one of them things that I can't explain that enough. I can't, you know, just it can't be explained any better than we don't have that type of government. We have a bottom-up form of government, because our president isn't our leader. He is our representative on the world stage. That's what he is. He's not our leader. He's a representative. Our, you know, the congressmen and senators, they're representatives too. You know, so I mean, we have a bottom-up form of government, not a top-down. You know, and one of the greatest things that we can tell people to do is remind them of that. If you want the BS to stop in Washington, you got to remind them of who put them in office, basically.
Who they
I'm sorry
work
to hear
for.
that they exactly. You know, I'm sorry to hear that they won't join. That's a shame. Maybe they'll watch next time though. That's all right. But yeah, you know, you gotta remind them who's in charge. I guess is a better way of putting it. You know, you gotta let them know who's boss. You know, it's a shame. You know, I was never so frustrated and ticked off. I think it was 2012. You know, the whole. You know, they did some type of a poll of, you know, people, whether they were happy with the job Congress was doing. And they had a 6% approval rate. You know, 6% approval rating. That's low. And then like, well, awesome. He said some of them are coming. But, you know, like 2 weeks after that is when the election happened. Almost every one of them people got elected back in the office.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you have 96% of the people were unhappy with the job Congress was doing, but yet whenever time came for them to go back to the poll and vote for the person they wanted to represent them on the Hill, they just went ahead and elected him back in office again. Put check mark by that guy's name. Are you kidding me? He said, sorry, I failed you. No, sir, you did not fail. Not at all.
Aw, why didn't you give him the harsh treatment?
I ain't giving him the harsh treatment. What are you talking about? But yeah, I mean, how are you even paying attention? If you go and stand and, you do a poll, I'm unhappy with what they're doing, let's put him back. What?
I'm pretty sure that's the definition of insanity, is like doing the same thing over and over but expecting a different result.
Yeah, I mean, he made a campaign promise. He lied his butt, he lied his butt off because whenever he got up to Washington, he didn't fulfill one of his promises. And then he comes back to the state and he says, I'll do better next time. And you believed him. What in the world?
That's not how it works.
The sad thing is he's already been elected 5 or 6 different times. So it's like, okay, well, he lied his butt off the last 5 times. What makes you think he was going to tell the truth this time?
Fool me once.
Look at me, I'm a hippopotamus.
No, it's fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fool me 5 times. Nah, I'm not even going into
Right?
that.
He says, you're my leader, you're my favorite streamer. Awesome, I'm glad you guys are liking the show.
How he must brainwash all of his friends.
He'll get it, it's all right. But yeah,
He got
I mean, what in the world is wrong with you? I mean, if you're going to, claim that you don't, that's like going to, and I see this, McDonald's is the worst place to go to. Not a sponsor, I promise. Dude, if you ever want to
For
kill
once.
a party,
Oh, God.
I heard a comedian say this, so I can't claim this. This was not mine. But it's hilarious. If you want to kill a party, just do the whole, this party's so McDonald's. I'm loving it. That's how you kill a party. Do you want ants? Because that's how you get ants. Yeah, I thought it was hilarious. It was great. So if you ever have the opportunity to do that, just do it. But yeah, how can you claim, I hate McDonald's, the worst place, yada, yada, blah, blah. And the next thing you know,
eat
you're
there every
standing in
day.
line, the next day and getting your meals.
No, they're not getting their meal. They're getting their third Big Mac.
Yeah. What's wrong with the Big Mac, dudes?
Those are
Stuff's
good.
freaking amazing.
I'm
I
so
love
mad
Big
they got
Macs.
rid of the Grand Mac.
Oh, I know. So I used to get the
Yeah.
Super Macs. Allow me to explain.
All
Because
right.
what you do is, you go to the line and you say, I would like a Super Mac. And they look at you like, you mean a Big Mac? And it's like, oh, no. I want the Super Mac. You tell the guy who's making the sandwich, make a Big Mac. Make the sandwich just like regular. And then whenever it gets time for the guy to put the meat on it, don't worry about them little bitty 1/10 patties. 1/10 pound patties. Do the 1/4 pound patties. That's a Super Mac. Good stuff, dude. Yes, let's hear a joke.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, he asked if we want to hear a joke. Of course we want to hear a joke. This is going to be awesome.
All right.
I might not be able to read it. I'll try. So, yeah.
What do you mean I might not be able to read it?
Well, depending on what content's on the joke.
Yeah.
No, but so, yeah, the people that just re-elect the same people in, that are doing horrible, that's kind of a definition of sheeple.
Oh,
Or a
absolutely.
sheep. They're brainwashed.
And there was a movie that came out not that long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. Isn't it amazing how whenever you become 39, it's, that isn't that long ago. But anyway, awesome. What's long in Mexican? No, what? That's a different person.
There's 2 of them on there. Like, we got this. That's horrible.
I can see that from here.
Oh, yeah.
We gotta wait for the other punchline too.
That's awesome.
The other one, the fish one.
It's the line at Taco Bell. That's a good one. I like that, sir. So, what?
We're still waiting for the second punchline. I can't see it. It says, do you call a fish with no eye?
Everything's good. But yeah, you know, I mean, it's definitely the sheeple thing. So that's what I was talking about. The movie that I seen a while back ago, Robin Hood.
Which one? You know how many Robin Hoods have been made?
Yes, I do, because there was Prince of Thieves, there was Men in Tights. That one? Mm-hmm. Oh, I just did that. Oh, yeah.
You're talking about the Russell Crowe one?
I'm talking about the Russell Crowe one. You know, a thing that was on his sword.
Yes.
You know, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. You know, I know the adage is being a sheepdog. You know, you train lambs to become sheepdogs. But I loved the implication of what that meant. You know, rise and rise again until lambs become lions. Because lions don't just protect the sheepdog just protects the sheep. But a lion protects the entire pride. Protects the land, protects the sheep, protects the entire pride. Everything. The implications behind that was awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and I love that. You know, that's an aspect of what we need to be doing. It's not just training a sheepdog. You know, that's not what we're doing. I know that's what we are meaning, but that's not what we're doing. You know, and, you know, I was like, I'm sorry, you know, biblical aspect of it. You know, what is Jesus going to be when he comes back? A lamb being left to slaughter? A sheepdog? No, he's coming back as a lion because he has taken over his pride. He's coming back, man. Simba's coming back.
Simba's coming back.
Hi, it's Kenya.
Konnichiwa. A lot of people.
All right, I'm okay. Really, I am. Oh, that was awesome. I just did like a couple movie references there. That was great. Lambs become lions, but that's just, you know, the implications behind that. That's why I just thought that was just badass. I did, you know. But yeah, that's education. You know, that's how you get rid of ignorance, is through education. You know, and too many people out there. I was watching a video earlier today of people not knowing what day, you know, the year that the Declaration of Independence was signed. They thought it was signed by Jesse Ventura. It was not.
Oh, Lord, help us. Oh, there was some worse ones, too.
Oh, yeah, there were some bad ones.
Guess what? Apparently, we separated from China and Mexico. And they went with it.
Yeah, right?
And that's part of things that aren't being taught in schools anymore. You know, so a lot of people don't do any research.
Careful, that might explode.
He has fries. I love fries.
It's like the post that I shared, which I firmly believe in. It says, get rid of the man cave, bring back the study.
Dude, right? I agree with that. You know, it's...
Start educating yourselves.
You know, and you know, the sad thing is that we live in the age of, you know, this is the technology age, you know. And the sad thing is, as a people whom are linked with cell phones, a computer, oh my God. He said that his friend said that it was signed in 1995. Wow. Slap him. He said he's going to give me some fries. Yummy.
Those might be rotten by the time they get to you.
I don't know, man. They're McDonald's French fries.
How do you know they're McDonald's? He didn't say McDonald's. He said AKA fries.
Okay. She's got a point. But, yeah.
I just ruined your happiness.
You ruined my train of thought, too.
You're welcome.
What was I saying?
Oh, we were talking about getting rid of the man caves and bringing back the studies.
Yes. You know, we live, you know, this is the technology age. You know, we have, the ability to look up and get information like that. Any question you have on your mind, there is a certain amount of accomplishment that comes whenever, because I have all kinds of questions in my head. I will share. Sharing's caring. That's right. But there was a time whenever if you had a question in your head, the question of do penguins have knees? You had to ask that question. You had to ask other random people to see if they knew, and then you had to go to this. You had to go to the library, and you had to get an encyclopedia, and you had to look up penguins, and you had to ask it. Do penguins have knees? And hopefully they thought that was an important enough of information to put it in there.
I don't
but
think they
nowadays,
have knees.
yes, they do. Because now all I got to do is, do penguins have knees? And Google will go, of course.
But they waddle.
They're little bitty legs.
Have you not seen their legs?
Have you not seen how tiny a penguin's legs are?
So they actually have knees?
They have knees.
Learn something new every day, kids. I didn't know that. I
But
didn't
yes,
think they did.
the information age. And we're as dumb as ever.
Nice.
Nothing against you, but I mean, we, just as a people, the amount of history that we know, the amount of things that we are actually aware of what's going on globally, nationally, everything else, and
That doesn't
I
work
threw
that
the
way.
fries at the screen. They did not get through. Dang it!
That would have been hilarious.
That would have
if
been great if I
fries
would
came through
have
and
fries
hit you
just
in
go
the
there.
face.
That would have been epic.
That would have been amazing.
Nice try, sir. We will figure that one out, dude. Teleportation.
We're gonna learn it. That
We
way you
need
get
to
hit
do
in the
that.
face with fries.
I think they're getting close to that.
They've actually done it on a molecular scale with non-living, molecules. They've done it. Yep.
Yeah, we're
So
getting
we
close.
can send chocolate. Chocolate.
But we can't teleport, the admiral's dog from one side of the solar system to the other one. It didn't come through. He was very sad about that. He didn't know what happened. The remake,
We're not
Scotty.
accepting you.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That was a great movie.
We didn't accept it though.
Didn't it?
It bounced off. Take your application back. I don't know. I'm weird.
But yeah, I mean, there was a time whenever, we had to look things up and we had to find things out. And now it's like, we are connected on a global scale now. And yet we are as alone as we've ever been, and there are certain things that we just don't look up because, unfortunately, we spend a lot of our time watching The Voice.
Or having all this beautiful information at your fingertip. And what do we look up? Cat memes.
I like cat memes.
Dude, cat memes are amazing.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
seen some of those cat memes? I mean, come on. Grumpy cat.
Oh my goodness.
Are you kidding me?
I actually,
That cat is amazing.
I actually have a grumpy cat meme. It's like, happy birthday. You're 1 year closer to dying.
Oh, the cookie didn't go through too?
Dude, you didn't say you had cookies. I want a cookie.
Try your phone. Trust me, it's going to work. Yeah, throw it in your phone. That might work. Telecommunications, guys. Your phone could, if
Smash.
anything's going to do it, try the phone. Trust me, it's going to work.
He's like, okay.
All right, I'm ready.
Wait, you have to hold your phone. It's going to come through the phone.
No, he's throwing it at his phone. It's going to come through the camera because that's where he's throwing it at. Come on, meow.
But it's going through phones. It needs two phones to work.
She may be right.
Mm-hmm.
Crap, okay.
Okay.
It did work. Crap.
I swear we got a crumb or two, man. It's okay.
We'll figure this out, man.
Just-
One of these days it's going to work.
It will.
He's going to like throw it at him and then it'll just disappear and he'll be like, oh. And it's
And then
going
he's going to look on the screen and
and
I'm
then-
going to get hit by a french fry.
No, it's going to be like he'll be just joking around, throw a shoe, and then you get hit in the face of the shoe.
That'd be epic, too.
Yes.
Well, thank you. I didn't know you were a size 10, sir. Here, have it back. Throw. Oh, wait. Hang on. I got a Wi-Fi. There we go. There we
My
go.
luck is he'd throw it back and it'd be like a micro machine. A little bitty french fry. Hey, it's 9:30. Congratulations. So yeah, you know, bring back the study, and I like that, and I agree wholeheartedly with that. You know, yeah.
I like teddy bears.
Through his teddy bear.
I do or don't. Do I actually have a teddy bear at home? If not, I need to get one. I need one of those ones that are like bigger than me. That way I can hide under it. I can scare the crap out of my kid.
No, you don't hide under it.
I'm gonna hide in it, and then I'll
they
chase
have
Gavin.
the ones you can
He
actually
will
hide
die.
in it.
He will die of a heart attack. It'll kill him if I chase him in a teddy bear. He's gonna cry and then have a heart attack and not move anymore. And I'm be like, we're going to the ER.
I've seen too many horror movies. That's like, you know, them
You'd
little bitty
attack it.
dolls. You know, oh yeah, dude.
Animal abuse.
You know, I've seen Chucky. I've seen Annabelle. I've seen, you know, too many of them. Them life size. Dude, my grandma used to have one of those in the house.
Oh my God.
Sitting on a rocking chair. Needless to say, when I slept over at grandma's house, you know, I stayed up all night just.
Waiting for it to move.
I was, dude. I was staring at that
Oh
chair.
no, I would have knocked it out of its chair, and then
No, then I would have gotten in trouble.
I would have set it on the floor gently. Then
No, I would have moved it. Grandma had, you know, she had one of them special cutting boards with the holes drilled in it to allow for better airflow for a gooder connection when she smacks you on the butt.
I thought someone was
I
cold.
threw my sweater. I thought someone was cold. Maybe. It's chilly in the
I'm
living
not
room.
cold actually for once.
Well, it's warmer in this room.
Yeah, it's because of all
Yeah.
the equipment.
Yeah, and the lights.
Yeah, and the lights that are always on.
Not always.
You leave them on all the time.
No, I don't.
You're a liar.
I shut them off whenever I'm gone.
But we left today and you left them on.
Well, yeah, but the computer was running too.
And
He's talking about when he's on the road.
no, don't support him.
He's helping me.
I am tearing him down. Do not try to build him back up.
Oh, yeah, he said he would throw that thing out the window, the
I
doll.
thought I actually thought at first he was talking about your grandma, and I'm like, oh my god, so violent.
That's hilarious.
Just
So
throw
violent.
that lady out the window.
But my grandmom is a wonderful lady.
Take that paddle too.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was amazing. Because the delay, it looked like he just said on the window, and I thought it meant your grandma, and I'm like, oh wow,
His brownies wants one.
my brownies want a sweater. You guys are gonna have to sort that out with each other. I don't know if he has a brownie-sized sweater, depending, unless it's human-sized. Oh my god, that would be a beautiful brownie.
What?
What? Human-sized brownie? You cannot say that's not beautiful.
Okay, that would be an amazing. Now, is it going to have nuts in it, you know, like almonds, or is it going to have like the little M&Ms?
Only in the special
know.
areas.
They should just go there.
I ate them. Oh, you're not supposed to
The
eat your
brownies.
children. Brownies are children sometimes. I'm gonna make like a little human-sized brownie, like a baby brownie.
Yeah, just a little
Excuse me?
What?
Yo loco ni cabeza.
Was that like you're crazy in the head?
Yeah.
Sweet.
I know where you sleep.
No, she don't.
You're a liar.
I am.
What are you talking about? I came here and harassed you this morning. I was like, it's time to wake up.
I'm scared now.
You better be. You should have done the evil.
What's wrong? You chickens.
Get into the microphone.
Makes me sound like a munchkin.
What? What?
What kind of voice was that? Holy crap! Toss that to me. He has cake.
I love cake.
cake is amazing.
As long as it doesn't have frosting. Hurts me.
Dude, Tink, you know, this one time we were talking about whipped cream, and he was like,
I love whipped cream.
which is also hilarious because, you know, Tink being Tink,
Yeah.
because he was totally,
I love whipped cream.
In that voice.
oh yeah, it was so his,
His deep voice. And he just looks at you and he's like, I love whipped cream.
Oh my god. Quit going so
I already have a deep voice anyway, so this just makes it even more amazing.
See how deep my voice
Oh
goes.
yeah.
No. Oh my god, I sound sick.
I was at a party one day.
Oh jeez. We're ear raping them.
the whipped cream definitely got raped.
Oh no, no. I'm talking about the viewers. We're ear raping them, not the whipped cream.
What's wrong with whipped cream?
All right, I'm taking that thing off now.
No, we have to leave. We have
Sometimes
to
I
have
have-
an episode where we're just messing with the mic features and just be like, I hope you guys are ready for absolutely nothing productive in life. No, you're not allowed to change it to another one. No.
Dang it.
That's the wrong one.
Dang it.
I haven't eaten Cheetos in like a year. Maybe
the right
2
one.
years.
Oh, that's why.
No.
What's wrong with that?
I don't accept your. Oh my god. And I have that like kid giggle, so it works. Oh no, I used that one and sang a song about. Gavin was there,
Like
and I
what,
used.
what?
No, I sang a song like butchering families or something like that, just to freak Gavin out, and he was not happy. He told me he
Well,
didn't.
yeah, you shouldn't be butchering families. What's wrong with you?
I just sang about it. It wasn't it didn't happen.
He has Cheetos. He was going to try throwing those at the phone. Guy's like,
Not even at the
Catch
phone
'em.
anymore. He's just throwing them at this point. He's like, here, it's
could be.
wall. I will make a magical portal, man. I just keep. I would be terrified
me.
if something came out the wall. I'd be done. I'd be like, thank you, but stop.
I want a haunted house.
I'd banish the spirits because I'm a jerk.
You're evil.
Says you. Spirits can be evil.
Says you. The heck are you drawing?
I'm not sure, but it kind of looks like a butt now.
I don't know what that is.
It looks like a deformed butt.
Anyway,
See?
Independence Day.
Back to this topic.
Happy Independence Day.
Yeah, you're free to listen to this.
Hoorah.
I have a point.
Oh, yeah, what was your point?
Oh no, I just meant you're free to listen to this.
I'm not even sure what that sound was.
Just throw a constitution at one of the cameras.
You know, one of the things I do like about this is, you know, the different quotes that it has in there, done by various peoples. You know, that it adds and whatnot. And there's a lot of them in here, actually. Yeah, there's like all kinds of different ones. But you want to read a couple of them? Actually, one of them that I think is, yeah, here we go. Guarding virtue and freedom. Only virtuous people are capable of freedom. As nations become corrupt and vicious, they have more need of masters. And of course, the one underneath that, you know, our Constitution was made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other.
I like this one because I think it kind of pertains to today.
Oh yeah, what's
by
that?
Thomas Jefferson. We in America do not have government by the majority. We have government by the majority who participate. All tyranny needs to
Right.
gain a foothold is for the people of good conscience to remain silent.
You know, I've actually talked to somebody, and this was one of them things. You know, with David Hogue and. Oh, Princess is on here. Ho-Ho's lovely guest. My BF thought you were my friend, Matt.
This my boyfriend. Yes.
I've told you who that was.
I think I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah. Does anybody?
So does Hua.
She says you can have him, pretty lady.
I wasn't asking permission. I mean, I
But,
claimed this man like 4 years ago.
But crap.
I'm sorry.
He had a thought and he lost
I did.
it.
I had a thought, and the train went
That's why I
like
said
that
I'm
way
sorry.
somewhere. That was great. Want something from Target? Ooh. Target's got all
I've
kinds of
never
good stuff.
been to Target.
You've never been to Target? Man.
You know, for the longest time when my mom would talk about it, I thought that she was actually just going somewhere to look at a Target. I was like 4 or 5 years old. Leave me alone. I was little then.
Oh yeah. With the whole David Hogue thing, you know, one of the things that he was, you know, that he had said was something about, you know, if our parents aren't going to stand up for this democracy, then it's up to us to win it back or whatever. And it's like that shows how much you know, because this isn't a democracy; it's a republic.
Yeah.
And you should be thankful of that, because nobody truly wants a democracy. Because what a democracy looks like is two pedophiles and a parent talking about age of consent. Two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. Granted, it's great for the wolves, sucks for the sheep. You know, but that's the truth behind it, you know, and I mean, you're absolutely right. You know, it's for the people that, you know, participate in it.
Yeah, because it's kind of along the same lines of, you know,
Cheeto.
the reason why evil exists is because good men do nothing. Processing.
Boondock Saints.
You can see the mental.
Yeah,
all
you
that
can see the
progress.
gears
It's like-
running.
All that is
It's like
necessary
smoke
for
is coming out. and-
all that is necessary for evil to prosper is for good men to do nothing. I think, is that how the quote was?
I
don't
think
know
it
what
is.
The quote was, yeah, but
You should buy us a cactus. That way you can keep it alive until you can get it to us one day. Just like one of the ones that are
And
like
Cheetos.
like that big, the little tiny ones. Cactus.
just one Cheeto, not the full bag.
No,
just
cactus.
One. No, Cheeto. Yeah, she wants Cheetos. I
No.
want Cheetos. Cheetos are amazing.
I want a cactus so I can stab someone with it, okay?
But it's just a little bitty needle. What's that going to do?
But it's a ball covered in little bitty needles. Stab, stab. And it'll grow into a big needle covered thing.
You know, it's kind of funny you mentioned about that David Ho kid. You know, that's a quote coming from a kid who, in the beginning, claimed that the shots being fired, I can't remember the school right off the top of my head, but at that school in Florida, claimed he heard it 3 miles away, and he was on his bicycle going towards the school, and is now claiming that he was on a classroom floor while it was all going on.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he's changed his story like 3 or 4 different times.
He's
on-
a lying sack of crap.
Yes.
I agree. Cactus hurt so much because I fell into like a bunch of them when I was little, and I was so traumatized by it because my mom had to run her finger over my skin and find each little invisible needle, and I remember the coursing pain I felt. It felt like lava in my skin. I think that's honestly why I hate needles to this day. Like, I'm utterly terrified. I just thought of that. That might be why I hate them.
She said udders.
I didn't say utter. I said utterly.
Oh.
It's an udder named Lee, okay? You're welcome.
You know, something that's a good companion for these is the Federalist Papers too.
Oh, absolutely. You know, that's the thing,
Yeah.
though. And in all honesty, there's a lot of things that are lacking as far as, okay, that's not exactly what I mean, but there's a lot of things that are lacking in the with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence, and that is more or less the history, the reasoning behind it, you know, and all that stuff. And those can all be found in the Federalist Papers.
Yes.
You know, and it is a necessary companion to have for this, because whenever these people, you know, whenever they try to say crap like, you know, banning certain guns or banning certain types of guns or this, that, and the other, and should they actually do that? You know, and the Founding Fathers never intended it to be used for a musket, but yet, you know, a printed $1 bill is perfectly legal for them to do, you know, but the Constitution says that the federal government has a right to coin money. It doesn't say anything about printed money. And, implied powers. So why does your implied power, you know, cover the printing of money, but it
not-
doesn't
yeah.
cover me having a cannon?
Because
I wanna
because as one of the most famous ones I hear is because, well, our founding fathers didn't know that the musket was going to evolve into what we have today. And I laughed. I'm like, sit down. I'm about to educate you.
Well, besides that, you know, I mean, if you at least understand the whole point.
I don't even want to know. I'm not even going to ask about that joke.
Coffee. A long black is how you order coffee in Australia.
Really?
Yeah.
That just sounds
It means
so
something totally
horrible.
different here,
Yeah,
but-
that means something horrible. I'll go off of the "This Is My Pee-Pee" song.
That-
I'll just say that. Oh yeah, you want to educate the viewers
No,
on what
that's
you
fine.
do in your personal life?
Whoa, you made that sound way worse than what that actually was.
Yes.
Yes, I know.
Very
You
worse.
made that
I
sound
know.
horrible. Sometimes I sing when I'm going to the restroom. This is my pee-pee.
You sing loud enough for people to hear too.
Well, I did too. But
So you're saying I can't have a hand cannon? You absolutely can have a hand cannon if you can afford one.
exactly. You know,
I want
and-
a hand cannon.
And that's one of them things that, you know, it's like, okay, so you have that argument. Well, have you read the Federalist Papers? Because the Federalist Papers very well line out that, well, the whole point of the Second Amendment is to keep our national government in check so that this way they don't become tyrannical and overbearing. Okay, so how are you going to keep them at check with a pea shooter whenever they have a cannon or they have a Moab? You're totally outgunned. So how are you supposed to, you know, go up against your government with a slingshot?
Chip-pew.
Yeah, it may have worked for David against Goliath,
But I ain't gonna work for the
but
average.
I ain't going to try it against armor.
Or the
I ain't
mo-
going to throw at a tank.
I'm gonna run.
Let me do that again. At a tank. I'm watching it.
We have the
Okay,
delayed reaction.
my-
It's so beautiful.
Okay, the facial expression was pretty good on that.
I know, because I get the arguments with people. It's like, well, why don't you just buy a bazooka? Because I can't afford one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you can't buy a tank. Oh, I can buy a tank. I just can't afford to buy a tank.
Yeah. You know, and that's one of the arguments like, what, do you really want everybody to have a tank? It's like, dude, wait, you're an idiot. You know, just because you can legally buy one doesn't mean you can afford to purchase the stinking thing.
Yeah.
You know, I can legally have a Barrett 50 cal.
Oh, that'd be so beautiful.
Oh, I would love it. Dude, I would just sniff it all day long.
Sniff it.
I would just
And then just as your like annoying neighbors go by, you just lock and load and be like, "Hi, neighbors." Don't do anything.
no,
You're
I
not-
wouldn't do. I wouldn't want to take it outside.
I would.
The sun would get to it.
No, I just take it outside just to intimidate the neighbors. Like be cleaning it outside, just polishing.
No, you want the mounted deuce.
Oh my God, yes. Just
Ooh, yeah.
I can't.
That would
make
be awesome.
I want to shoot one. That's on my bucket list.
I get to shoot one too, right? Go poof, poof, poof.
If we get to record that,
Oh, Hell
No,
yes.
please don't. I already
You have no
got-
idea the concussive force that comes off of those
I
things.
already almost. Well, I did cry whenever Brandon made me sit in his stupid car. I don't like cars.
I've shot a 50 cal muzzle loaded.
Nice.
It is awesome. And the
Freedom.
concussion.
Does it make you
I
feel
had a friend of
free?
mine that this was I think about a year ago that he ended up being able to shoot a Barrett 50 cal, and he had video of it, and I was so jealous.
We should,
Oh, hell yeah.
we should find a place. No, I just want to try. I know I might fall off and probably break a few bones, but it'd be worth it.
Well, me and Brandon are talking about in Texas. There's a ranch you can go to. I don't know how much it costs, but you can rent a tank and blow stuff up
Oh
and
my
run things
God.
over.
Wait, ho, you have to take
And we're
us.
wanting to go down there.
We should all go on a road trip.
Sounds like a road trip for weaponized
Sounds
sloth
like
productions.
a road trip for Weaponized Sloth Productions. You are right about that.
Yes, and it would just be on like the main page where everyone can look at it and be like, them freaks are crazy. I wanna go.
Oh, you can go. We can do that.
We can just
Heck yes, you can go.
come and get me. We can just randomly kidnap you.
We'll
Don't
do that.
worry.
We'll do that.
Just as long as you come willingly. That sounded so
Oh
bad.
hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to shoot a a full semi-automatic weapon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just shoot.
Belt fed. I could smell the freedom coming off of that.
We're getting all our viewers excited here, guys. Careful.
All right, we can do road trip. Road trip, guys. We're going down to Texas.
We're gonna gather everyone.
Yeah, baby.
Gather the viewers. We're
We are-
going to shoot some stuff and claim freedom. Oh God, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Yes, you are.
Freedom.
Yeah, it is hot in Texas. but
Tank
you know what?
tops
It
and
doesn't
shorts
matter.
and flip flops. Let's
Oh
go.
heck yeah, he's going to bring some Cheetos and drinks. Heck yeah.
He'll bring the Cheetos and drinks. Gotta bring a cactus too. Don't forget about my
Yeah,
cactus.
we can do that in winter. I normally go up to Canada, and holy crap, it gets cold up there.
Canada.
Canada. You know, Canadians. You know, the neighbors to the
Canadians.
north. Canadians, yeah. You know, they don't celebrate the 4th of July up there.
They don't make the boom boom of color.
No. They do have a 4th of July in Great Britain.
That's horrible.
I like cake. I'm a fat kid. I love cake. I love cake. I'm like Gabriel Iglesias. I love chocolate cake. But yeah, because they actually had that argument back in the day. A guy, there was guys that had boats and they were getting hijacked by pirates, and they went to Benjamin Franklin and they were like, can we have cannons? Because that was the heaviest artillery that a civilian could own back in the day, that was out there back in the day. The dog kicked her out of bed because of fireworks.
Everyone's just ordering from this guy off like a menu.
Right.
I'm wanting a cactus. You guys are getting cake. She's
Dr.
getting
Pepper
Dr.
and
Pepper and
chips.
chips and Cheetos.
Oh, what kind of chips? Got to be specific.
Gotta be
But,
specific.
yeah, and there was like, can we have a cannon on our ship? And Benjamin Franklin was like, let me think about this. America. Yeah. Second Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly. Yeah, you can have yes, you can have a cannon on there. So, yeah.
Or you get hear some of the arguments where it's like, well, they didn't have hand cannons in their home. Let me educate you.
Dude, people would actually be so, and that's one of them, it's a failty of our education system that people aren't actually aware of the progression of guns armory, whatever. You know, they're uneducated about the progression. They had something, you know, not exactly a machine gun, but they had rapid fire guns back then.
Yeah, they knew exactly what it was going to evolve into.
Yeah, I mean, they had rapid fire weaponry. They had rapid fire weaponry back then.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, they believe that's when the development of grenades started also. So you were getting explosives back then too. I don't think they were put into use yet, but they were under development.
Right, okay, I got you. They
What?
figured out boom boom, but they hadn't figured out shrapnel yet.
Yeah.
What face? I made no face. That wasn't a face of, wow, that tastes a little sour. I
didn't see
Yeah,
that.
she
I
made
made
a
a
face because I seen it too.
I did not. Oh, I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to watch. I'm gonna have to watch this.
Yeah,
Rewind it and watch it.
yeah. Because it's getting starting to get warm now, so it has that I'm gonna be sour in your mouth now feel to it. Stop thinking. That was just so mean sounding. Just stop thinking. Ho ho.
Halo.
That is being held up by devil horns.
Flatten them down and be all right.
Hide them
Ain't
with
nobody
the
see
hair.
nothing. That's right. I hide them with the hair. Ain't nobody see my horns.
I just snorted a little.
All right, guys. I want to take a quick break.
You can't.
I
flatten
can
them.
try to flatten them.
They
you
grow
know.
like Pinocchio.
Every time I tell a lie. She can see him clear as day. Crap.
Day is not always clear. Eclipses. Mwah! I've given you an out. It was a really crappy out, but I tried. Don't look at me like that.
I got nothing.
Dude. Okay. Scientists were trying to figure out why there are rings on Saturn. The answer's simple. God liked it. So he put
Put a ring on it. Yep,
He put
exactly.
multiple rings on it. How many times he been married to Saturn?
It's a ring with multiple colors, kind of like a rainbow. Is it one rainbow or is it multiple rainbows? It's one.
It's multiple rainbows. Double rainbow.
Yeah, but that's a double rainbow. I'm talking about a rainbow.
I'm talking about two rainbows.
Well, I'm not talking about two rainbows. I'm talking about one rainbow.
You know what?
I do know what. I know his brother Who
Two
too. 'Cause
rainbows.
who's on first? And what's on second?
I don't know why I just touched the wall.
I don't
was
know either. Are
just
you trying to flatten
brace
down my
myself,
speckles or something?
Actually, I've been messing with them.
Speckles. I almost called this the speckled studio instead of the cottage studio. Because,
That
or like
sounds-
Smurf Murder Studio.
Smurf murder.
I loved
This is
that
the
one.
Smurf Murder Studio. That'd be awesome.
I loved
Because there's
that
a lot
one.
of blue in there, you know.
Yeah. Smurf.
Broadcasting
and-
live.
from the
Oh, wait,
Smurf-
hold on.
Hey, and actually,
Oh yeah, he's got to do the voice.
Broadcasting live from the Smurf Murder Studio. That's hard to say. Holy shit. I don't recommend
and
that.
also, like, cause you know they had them dark Smurfs. See, yeah, it's Smurf Murder, 2 ways.
Smurf Murder Studio.
You should,
That'd work. I may do that.
please don't.
Yes, you have an awesome one too. See you later. So yeah, we're going to take a quick break. When we return,
Bye.
who knows what type of craziness we're going to have. Where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. Here, mousy, mousy, mousy. There, I found it.
is.
All right. You're psycho. And we are back.
I had to,
Woohoo!
I had to adjust.
Just sometimes too. Hey, that was Putin on a Ritz.
What?
It was Putin on a Ritz cracker. You know, because if you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why can't you go? Or,
Something like that.
I screwed up the words on that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Disgrace.
Yeah, that was horrible. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion shits?
Putting on the
Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper. Trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper.
That's about as far as he got.
That's about as much as I know of that song. He was getting his laundry. Yeah, sweet. So,
Clean clothing.
love
Woo!
clean clothing. Woo!
We did laundry 2 days ago.
I love whipped cream.
It had nothing to do with laundry.
To use whipped cream, you gotta do the laundry after that.
Well, you're not supposed to be dressed when that happens, sweetheart.
Depends on how spontaneous the whipped cream fight is.
Oh, we're going to the... I took a different route there, sir. I'm sorry. I'm a perverted
There's
human.
something wrong with us. There really is.
Don't mind my perverseness.
Anything else we got to add on this 4th of July stuff?
Happy 4th of July coming soon. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Happy early 4th of July.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Just delete that part. Pretend it didn't happen. You won't, will you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Oh, here's another quote.
Technically, it is Happy 4th of July. It's July 2nd. That's whenever they, you know...
Technically, it is the 4th of July.
Shh.
It's the 2nd of July.
My phone. I'm going to change my phone data thing.
I can't believe she just said that. That
I
was
know.
great.
I had a
Technically,
moment. I'm
it's
going to
July.
drink more energy drink. And
About like
hopefully it'll be
asking, is Easter on a Sunday this year?
better. My grandma did that once.
Did you smack her?
I made fun of her for weeks.
Isn't Easter always on a Sunday?
Yes.
Yes.
Just like
Easter Sunday.
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
is always on a Thursday.
And Christmas is always on an inconvenient day that you don't want it to be on.
Exactly.
It always is. It never seems to land in that perfect spot, you know, to where it doesn't screw you.
That's good.
All right, so what was you going to say?
I'm so sorry.
I was gonna say there was another quote in here by James Madison that I liked. It said he said a well-instructed people alone can be permanently a free people.
You know, and that's one of them things. You know, we have to be animated. We have to be, you know, we got to know what's going on. I mean, how else are you going to fight the lies if you don't know what's going on? You know, otherwise you have people that just, you know, blind followers is what you get. You know, you get sheeple, stop, rewind, play. Blind followers. There we go. That's what you get. That's what you get.
He's leaving us.
Next week I'll be on again. I'm heading to Canada, and when I get back, we'll do a show again. Hopefully this one will actually be on Saturday. No, wait. Might not be on Saturday. I got to go to Cleveland, Ohio.
Joy.
Yeah.
Haha. Love you.
Sunday or Monday. I'll be doing it Sunday or Monday. So yeah, see y'all later. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for stopping by.
You said y'all like we were done.
No,
Okay, I was like,
well I did, but I don't. Sometimes things just come out of my mouth without actually checking in with your brain. You know how it is.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Like you got a fart.
What? That wasn't a real fart. That was
Well,
with
yeah, I
your
know
mouth.
that was with my mouth. I mean,
That was
dirt.
with your mouth.
I don't have a microphone down there.
Make one.
I know.
Put it down there. Let them hear it.
Dude, okay, on Gatton's show, I heard it. I remember I heard it. 20 minutes into it, and you guys are talking about something. Next thing you know, Brandon.
Yeah.
He's had a few of those moments.
And he sits there with the reddest face where he's trying not to laugh because he can't breathe, makes Matt talk.
Oh, that one that
And
I
I'm
seen.
just
Oh, that
there
was great.
staring at them like, oh.
Yeah, that one was great because it was just the you guys wasn't on video at that time. You know, not at all.
Yeah,
and he was,
not yet.
he was like, "Don't you mess up, man! I'm really hoping they didn't hear that." And oh yeah, it was so heard.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was
It
loud,
yeah, I
too.
remember that one. He's like, because he brought up, he goes, "Do you think that was heard?" And I'm like, "I don't know, may not be because nobody said anything."
Nobody said anything because they didn't want to bring it up.
And then after the show, we went back to it, rewound it. Yeah, you could hear it plain as day.
Then you guys were just laughing so hard because you like basically froze in your thought. You know, your
You were
train
just
of
like-
thought. You were like gone. You were
You're
done.
like, did you just fart, sir? Did
No,
I?
it was nothing. He was trying
there
to
was just-
continue his train of thought. It wasn't working too well.
It was just, oh.
Oh, that was great.
No, there's one
And,
of
you know,
them.
this is actually pretty cool. Remembering significant dates, second to the last page on here. Let's see, April 19th, Battle of Lexington, Massachusetts. July 4th, adopted by Congress. Man, they got quite a few dates in here. I actually had not even looked at that before. Yeah, that's July 4th of 1976. Bicentennial year.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back, good sir. Yeah, that's one thing too. I mean, it took a while for things to actually get into swing to where, it was actually going the way it was supposed to be going.
Yeah.
It took a while for everything to get put into place. You know, it took.
And that was something I was going to bring up when you were talking about, the reason why they removed property from there is because they knew that it was going to take a lot of time to get this established, and to have that on top of it, I honestly think things would have fell apart.
Oh yeah, it definitely would have. What? Oh, the signers of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one's cool.
Oh yeah, there it is. The signers.
Do, 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 do.
Okay.
And you didn't bring us food, Al?
Oh, you're at Emporia? Kick ass. Now you're doing Texas this week, right? No, you did Texas last week. Yeah, you're doing Kansas this week. Okay. Yeah, I got to head up to Beacon Core, Montreal, and yeah.
What?
Signers of the Declaration.
Signers of the unanimous declaration.
Mm-hmm.
was something else in here that I lost it. Yeah, never mind. Well, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and take off.
Are we letting them free?
2-day run with a half a day off. That sucks. Well, good morning, sir. Dank Meme 79. I dig the name.
It's Danks _ memes 79.
You know, but you don't say the underscore.
But there's an underscore.
There is, but that doesn't matter.
You can't ignore the underscore.
That's why it's there, is to be ignored.
No, it makes
It's
a nice.
space.
Well, then why didn't you say space?
Since when do you say space? Kind of like you don't say period at the end of a sentence.
Period.
Period. Yeah, I thought you did Texas last week. Saginaw and whatnot. I had quite a few rolls on there. Period.
Period.
You know what?
I do know what, and I know his brother did too. Because he was on first.
You know what? Question mark?
Well played, sir. Well played.
You guys are jerks. All because I said something about an underscore.
Yes, we are. Exclamation point.
Hey, there's no semicolon, stuff like that, and commas. Where's the rest of the punctuation? You're going to do it to the fullest.
Well, there's only certain places you can use, like, let's say a colon and comma. Those instances are as follows.
Stop.
Colon. Okay.
You asked.
I hate you all.
That's one of the things. I was never a fan of English.
Same here.
I
Because,
hate
you go
English.
into kindergarten, Sam can run, and then you got to know Sam can run fast, and then Sam can run fast in blue jeans, and then you conjunction, junction, what's your function, and you got diagrams and this, that, and the other. It's like, what the hell?
Empty colon.
That's what happens
I'm
after
sorry.
you get off the toilet. Yes. You have a colon, a semicolon, an empty colon.
It's semi-full.
That's what a semicolon is. It's almost full. You're not quite there yet. You're not ready for
you
a
haven't-
bowel
yeah,
movement.
you're not ready for the emptying. The emptying of the...
Oh, there are things wrong with us.
We should stop while we're ahead. Goodbye, all. Just goodbye. Thank you for enduring us.
There's something definitely wrong with us.
Full call.
So there is a couple of things that I want to throw in here as far as the Ho-Ho Show stuff is concerned. Full colon. Then you better go to the toilet, man. So it's been brought to my attention, and this is listening to another guy's show, The X-Men Experience. As content creators, as podcasters, as people who do web shows, different things of that nature, we need to promote other people's shows more often, and that's one of the things I want to start doing. Promoting people that are on Spreaker, promoting people that are on, YouTube, different people that I watch and whatnot, and some of the other platforms out there that I watch shows on, and just kind of one of them things. It's spreading the love of, because there's like Spreaker has got all kinds of good shows out there. Of course everybody knows YouTube does, but they've got a lot of good shows on there, a lot of good content creators, and it's just a really good time. It's a great place to great platform to go to and just see what's going on, so I'm going to be doing that on the next show. I ain't going to do it on this one, but yeah, so y'all just have a great one. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
You guys rock.
Take care, guys.